is it going? I work a lot with clients who come to me when they are ready to scale, when they're ready to go bigger, when they're ready to stop dealing with the 9 to 5 and trading time for dollars and dollars for time. They really just want to have it all essentially. They want to be able to run their business, have quality time with their family and for themselves, and they are ready to invest in themselves and go to that next level, making the income and the impact that they deserve. So I want to pop on today and share with you a few reasons, and I'm going to give you I have 4 tips that I'm going to share with you. So 4 tips that I'm going to share with you today as to these are reasons, right? So these are reasons why mom entrepreneurs specifically have a harder time scaling their business versus anyone else. This is versus men that are in business. This is versus someone who is not a mom, right? Someone who's just operating and they don't have kids at home and they're not kind of working that schedule where they have to really prioritize where their time is going because they don't have as much time, right? So if this is you and you are a mompreneur, I would love for you to drop me a 1 in the comments. Hi Yvette, how are you? Hi from Sweden, amazing. I would love to hear from you if you are a mompreneur, and I want to know if this is something. I'm going to give you, like I said, these tips, okay? And I want to know if any of this resonates with you, if any one of these 4 reasons resonate with you, okay? So these 4 reasons are for why mom entrepreneurs specifically have a harder time scaling when it comes to business, okay? So number 1, and I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly, and again, I wanna hear from you if this is something that you struggle with. So first one, number 1, is that they don't invest in themselves or their business. If this is you, drop me a 1. And the reason why this happens, okay, is because their belief, their mindset is that their business is supposed to supplement their family income, not take away from it, right? So they're so afraid that if they invest in themselves, to hire a coach, to take a training, to go to an event, heck, download an audiobook, buy a book, right? Anything that's going to help invest in themselves, to grow, to learn, to build, is going to, in some way, shape, or form, take away from that income that's going into their family, right? And I'll tell you this, every single time that I've invested in myself to be better, to grow myself, my business has done better. I have grown, okay? So I want you to start thinking about, where is it in your business that you're holding yourself back? If you resonate with this, I would love for you to drop me a 1. Hi, Gabriella from Peru. Amazing. We got Sweden, Peru. So lovely to see you ladies. I want to know if this is you, okay? So drop me a 1 if you feel like you're not investing in yourself because you feel like it's taking away from your business, that in some way, shape, or form, that you feel like if I invest in myself, I'm going to feel guilty. I'm going to feel guilty because I'm investing in me and my growth. And it could be taking away from the money that's going into my family. Again, I want to know if this is from you, and drop me a 1 if this is you, if you resonate with this. And I want to again stress the fact that when you invest in yourself, when you invest in your growth, everything else grows. You up level when it comes to your business. You up level when it comes to smashing those self-limiting beliefs. You get to that next level, right? It's not like you're taking away from your family. You actually are becoming better for your family, for yourself, for your community. So I want you to smash that limiting belief and start to say, how can I start investing in myself today? Not how is this taking away from my family or the income that I'm bringing, that I'm bringing to the table, but how does me investing in myself allow me to invest better and bigger with the impact and income that I have for my family? Okay, so that's number 1. And drop me again number 1 if you've felt this way before. Number two is these mompreneurs, they don't take themselves seriously because they work from home, right? They believe that other people that are working outside the home, right? Like that's what it means when you have a real business. If that's you, if you've ever felt like that, and look, I work from home. I work from home. I work from home, and my family knows when that door is shut and I'm working, that is when I'm in work mode. Okay. So I don't want to, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a number two if you feel like because for any reason you felt like because you work from home, I don't take myself seriously. Tell me if you resonate with that. That's number two. Gabriella says, I resonate with everything you're talking about. Investing in myself is the best. Yes, amen, Gabriella. Amen to that. Because when you invest in you, you will go so much further faster. So amen, 100% to that. And again, I can speak to that on many different levels, that every single time that you invest in you, you will go further faster, you will level up, you get to that destination of where you want to go because you start to take yourself seriously. When it's scary and you start to invest money, and I mean real money, not just into like a book or a course, but real money into coaching or maybe into an event, something like that. When it's scary, when you're like, oh shit, type of a thing, type of a moment, right? That's when you start to take yourself seriously because you know you're not playing it small anymore. You know that you're in it to win it and that no matter what happens, you're going to make it work. And then Yvette says, I do a lot of investment into myself and the guilt comes from not being present as much as a mom. I delegate a lot, so mom guilt comes in a lot. Okay, well, Yvette, listen to number three, what I have for you, okay? This is number three, okay? Mompreneurs feel that they believe that they have to trade time for money. And this is exactly what you're talking about. It's this belief that there's only so many hours in the day and more money means more hours, right? The more money I'm making, the more time I have to invest in myself, which means less time with my family. This is exactly what you're talking about, right? And I want you to stop for a second and I want you to think. I want you to think to yourself, is this true? Is this belief that I have true? Or is it something that I've made myself to believe that it's true? Is it 100% that everyone out there that's making more money is working more hours? Or is it an ideology? Is it something that we're playing into this belief, right? It's not that this is coming from nowhere, right? But we get to decide. How much money I'm making, my income, my impact, does not mean that the more of that I have and that I create means more time I'm exchanging. I'll tell you ladies firsthand, when I launched my book and when I had Jordan in the same month, I worked less hours, but I had more exposure to my business and I made more money the month that I had my baby and worked less hours the exact same month. So I will tell you, the thought process that we have that holds us back from thinking, well, if I'm making more money, then I've got to work more hours. And what that means is less time away from my kids and more time in my business. I'll also tell you that I've spent more time now as a mom with my kids. I have days where are just mommy Jakey days. And of course now it's Jakey and Jordy, so both my boys, two kids instead of one. I spend more time with my kids and I'm making more money in my business today. And I have more of an impact today than I even did a year ago, 6 months ago. So I'll tell you, it's something that we have to change this thinking in our own minds. We have to change the thought process of, for some reason, I'm exchanging time and for money, right? It doesn't have to be that way. So I totally get what you're saying, Yvette. I understand that for you, you're saying that there's this guilt that comes from not being present. But I would say to myself, what are some things, and I love that you're delegating because that's so important, right? That's a huge part about taking things off your plate. But I would also ask you, take a step back and write out all the things you do in a day, right? What are all the things that you do from a business perspective? And then look at that list and say, out of those things, what can only I do? What can only I do? Not an assistant, not someone that I'm delegating to, not something that, anyone else can do other than me. And you get to focus on those things. Anything else should be delegated. I'll tell you, even within my home, I have someone that picks up my dry cleaning. I have Instacart, literally just came to the door, that brings my groceries. I have someone that comes to literally in my driveway right now as we speak, washing the car, cleaning out all the crumbs and the pretzels from the boys, right? I'm not using my time to go drive to the grocery store, drive to the dry cleaner, drive to the car wash. I use my time wisely so I can be here, talk with you, and do the things that only I can do. So I would say to you, I so get where you're saying, where you feel that guilt because you're like, I'm not being present as a mom, but take a step back and say, the things that I'm doing right now, what can I, and I say this in my book, what do I only do? What do I delegate or I delete? They fall into one of those three categories: do, delegate, delete. And I want you to focus on getting very, very intentional about putting every single thing that you do into one of those three categories. And then I want to hear back from you and let me know what you've put into those categories and how you've been able to release some extra time and give yourself some more of that time back to invest into your kids. And then the number four reason why mompreneurs especially finds it hard and feel like they struggle with this even more, they have a harder time scaling their business. Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess what number four is? We've talked about it a little bit. But number four, and drop me a number four if this is you, it's number four, this belief that you're afraid that success will make it harder to balance that life and family and this work-life balance, right? The more success I have means the less time I get to be with my family. The more success that I have, the more money that I make, the more hours I have to pour into what I'm doing every single day, right? The belief that scaling means more time and more responsibility. And what I'll tell you is this: every next level that you get to will require a different level, a different version of you. If you plan this out accordingly and correctly into the life that you want to live, right? You reverse engineer this. You don't have to play by the rules of what you're making up in your mind, that I've got to give more hours of my time to my business and less to myself and my kids and my family and all these other things, right? You get to reverse engineer this. So now you're creating your life around your business, not your business around your life. It's very, very simple to do this, but not many people invest the time to do it, right? So what's important? For me, time with my kids, intentional time, not on my phone, not sending out emails, not in my business, intentional time. When 4:30 hits, and it's almost 4 o'clock right now, I put the phone away, I'm with Jakey, we bake, we ride the bike, we go to the park, we go to the beach, we have very intentional time. When I'm with Jordy, same thing. It's our very intentional time together. We're reading books, we're singing, we're dancing. I have my phone on, but the phone's on because the music's on in the background and we're dancing together. But when I'm here with you, right? I'm not trying to give the baby a bottle and sit here and talk to you. I'm in it 100%, the thing that I'm in. And I want you to know that you don't have to be afraid that the more success you have means the less intentional time and the less balance that you get to have for yourself and your family. It's just not the case, okay? You get to show up in a way that creates the boundaries. You guys, boundaries is such a big word. This is one of the things that I work with a lot of my clients on, which is creating these boundaries, right? And boundaries give you this amazing structure in your business, into your life, where you get to create the rules and everyone else gets to play by your rules because it's your business, it's your life, and you get to create how and when and where you show up and what you do, right? So at the end of the day, I just want to tell you, like, these four myths that I shared with you, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to recap these again, and I want to know if you struggle with any of these. And ladies, like, this is a safe place. Just know that I put this out there because in some way, shape, or form, my clients, they all tell me that they struggle with these things, and I help them bust past these myths. Because if you're thinking it, every decision that you're making is giving that power. So if you think that because you're investing in yourself, that you're taking away from your family, the actions that you take and the steps that you take are going to back that data up, are going to back that information up. But if you say to yourself, guess what? The more I invest in myself, the better mom I get to be. The more I invest in myself, the better person I get to be, the better wife I get to be. Every single step that you take and that you make is going to support that decision. Okay? So we're going to reverse engineer this thinking and say all the things that I create in my life, right? They get to support the lifestyle that I want to live, how I show up, the clients I take on, the money that I make, the impact that I make, the brand that I'm building. All of this is for you and it's here, but it only will exist with the beliefs that you tell yourself and the reality that you create for yourself. So again, I want to go back and I just want to recap these 4 things for you. So number 1, and again, these are myths. And for some reason, us as women, we are so hard on ourselves. We can freaking conquer the world. We have babies, we run businesses and the household, and we take care of ourselves, and we do all the things. But at the end of the day, for some reason, we put these self-limiting beliefs on ourselves, right? And I'll tell you, when you get to the next level, when you can scale your business and get rid of these excuses, this is when you get to the next level. So again, if you're any of these 4 things that I'm talking about, drop me a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I'm going to read them off to you, and let me know if this is you, if you've dealt with this, because I want to help you bust through these myths and create this life for yourself that only you get to create. Only you get to create this. But you have to have the foresight and the knowledge and the awareness that, yes, I think this. Yes, I operate with this. So if I know I operate with this, I know I can change it, right? If I know I think like this, if I know I operate like this, if I know I'm creating my business, my lifestyle around these thoughts and these beliefs and these patterns, then I know I can also change it, okay? So number 1, they don't invest in themselves or their business. Again, we have this belief that it's going to take away from the income that we're bringing into the family, so we feel guilty investing in ourselves, believing that the money that we're bringing in is taking it away from the family, right? Instead of saying, I'm investing in myself, I'm growing myself, and therefore I'm becoming a better businesswoman, mother, wife, member of my community, right? So if you're number 1, drop me a number 1. Number 2, not taking yourself seriously because we work from home or we don't have an office outside of the home, right? We believe others that they've said, that's not a real business because you work from home, or, whatever the case may be, where you feel like you've built up these not even real case scenarios in your minds, why you don't operate from a massive place of impact and income. Right? So if that's you and you feel like I maybe don't take myself as seriously as I should because I'm only working from home. I'm only in my first year of business. I'm only whatever that limiting belief is. Keyword, belief. Everything I'm talking about is going back to belief. If we believe it, we achieve it. Also meaning if we believe it and we put those limitations on ourselves, that's also what's going to keep us from getting to where we want to go. Number 3, the belief that we have to trade time for money. This is a big one. This is a big one, ladies, because there's a belief that there's only so many hours in the day and more money equals more hours. So many of my clients, they have this thought in their head, meaning when I have this amount of hours and clients and money that I'm making, it means I have to work more. We're no longer trading dollars for hours. Forget it. It doesn't happen anymore, right? We need to look at this as, what am I doing in my day that's going to create the most impact and income? What do I focus on, right? A lot of the time these ladies think about more hours in my business mean less time with my family. And that's not the case. Again, these are all beliefs. So if this is you, drop me a number 3. 1, 2, or 3. So I have Gabrielle again. 1, I resonate with everything you're talking about. So Gabrielle says for sure number 1. Yvette, great viewpoint. You have tapped into my weak point. Hard to let things go and let others do it. Yes, it's hard, but let me ask you this, Yvette. If you could let go of that, right? And I also would ask you this question. What is it that you feel like you have to do everything? the cooking, the cleaning, the business, the running the errands, the all the things, right? Like what inside of you feels like you have to do it all? Why you're not able to release that, right? Because once you allow yourself to release that and start letting the people around you work for you and work to your time on your schedule and what you're doing, again, outsourcing the groceries, the car wash, I don't know, it could be anything. I'm just naming off some of the few of the things that I have. I have someone come to my house and blow out my hair, so I don't have to go to the salon, right? Things like that where I'm not trading, my time is more important. My time is more important. I can always make more money. We can always make more money, right? Money is something that we can always be making more of. Time we can never get back. So Yvette says, it's very hard. I'm actually going to take your advice and do this. I'll let you know. Yes, this is what I want. I want you ladies, whether you're on here live or hashtag if you're watching the replay, let me know if this is something that you resonate with and if this is something that you're going to start implementing to help you become more effective and more efficient in what you're doing day to day. And then the last tip that I have for you, and the last belief that so many female entrepreneurs, especially mompreneurs, deal with, is they're afraid that success will make it harder. Afraid that success will make it harder to balance, right, their life and their family. They believe that scaling means that more time and more responsibility come along with that success. And while that's true, right? While it's true that yes, you have more responsibility, it doesn't mean that there's more time. And again, I'll use myself as a perfect example. My business over the past 6 months has almost quadrupled, but the amount of time that I'm spending in my business is actually less. And I'll tell you why, because I'm very strategic about where my time goes, what I'm delegating, what I'm outsourcing, the people that I get to bring into my business to allow me to focus on the things that only I can do, right? And not feeling like I have to do all the things. And Yvette, I get it. Like I used to be there too. Like I have to make sure that I'm doing, all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the laundry, all the things, right? Like, I don't know if it's something that it's a pride thing or if it's something that like I grew up seeing that, but I had to smash that belief for myself because I said, if I'm doing the cooking, the cleaning, the dry cleaning, all these things, that means less time in my business, less income, less impact, and less time with my family. I'd rather outsource and pay someone to come in or clean or cook or do these things so I can spend time with my family or my business versus doing the dishes, doing the laundry, doing these things, right? I get to decide where I'm going on this journey. And I get to bring in the help, I get to bring in the resources where I can, so I get to tap into and live that life that I get to create, but that I get to have that I want, right? So again, I went into 4 of these beliefs that we have. And at the end of the day, ladies, I really just want to hear from you, especially all the mompreneurs, because ladies, we are so hard on ourselves. We feel like we have to do it all. We don't want to take our foot off the brake or off the gas rather, but we also we're like, we want it all. I want the business, I want the body, I want the family, I want the health, the wealth, all these things. But I don't get there unless there's a plan in place. I don't get there unless I know what I'm doing every single day. I don't get there unless I allow other people, other resources to allow me to get there so I can live up to those levels and create those levels, right? And the biggest part of all of this, and 2 things is what I want to mention to you, is everything that I went over today is a belief, right? It's a belief. And it's not that it comes from nowhere. It's something that you've picked up. It's something that you've learned. It's something that you've seen your mom or grandmother, somewhere along the line, you've seen this before, right? But you get to decide. You get to decide if it continues or if you stop and you create the life that you want to create. And it's only up to you and only you, for your family and for your business. And that's why I stress this so much, because ladies, you see my passion and my heart is in this so much, because when we grab hold of the reins and take control, we become unstoppable. We know this, we're women, right? We do this across the board. We have babies, run the home, run the family, take care of ourselves, right? But so many times it's the belief, it's this false belief that we've been told over and over and over again. And we need to be the ones that stop it, that we put an end to this chain of just a belief. It's not even real, right? It's something that we get to decide. It's an ideology. It's not even real. So what is it that you want? Do you want to have the impact and the income, or do you want to keep giving yourself the excuses as to why you can't get there? And all of this goes back to scaling. It all goes back to the reasons why specifically mompreneurs have it harder. We put this on ourselves. We have it harder when it comes to scaling our businesses because of these beliefs. So I just want you to take a step back, go back and rewatch this if you have to, but take a step back and say, which one of these beliefs am I aligning myself with? And which one can I smash? Which one of these can I get rid of and realign? And refocus and focus my energy into actually doing the things and taking the steps I need to take to create my business and my life and my family in the way I want to create it, right? Because there's a huge difference in the beliefs and the misconceptions that we're told to believe or that we've brought up believing or seeing, and then where we get to put our foot down and draw the line in the sand and say, no, this is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm going to create it and make it possible for me to do all these things and make a greater impact and income for myself and my family. So wanted to give you ladies that quick little training today. Thank you so much for being on here. If you have any questions about this training, I would love for you to DM me, message me. I'm here to answer any of the questions that you have. But again, go back, rewatch this training, and think about what is it right now that you're putting on yourself. Any of these beliefs. Maybe it's not any one of these four. Maybe it's something that's something else that you can identify as you go through this practice. But go back through, identify these things, and figure out what the game plan is to smash those limiting beliefs so you can start scaling your business to make the income and the impact that you and your family deserve. So thank you ladies so much for being here today. Again, any questions, I'm always here to help and support you in any way that I can. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.